What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Manny Pacquiao. You know, there has been a lot of accusations, a lot of people accusing Manny Pacquiao of juicing, and I've seen that for more than 2 or 3 different channels, people. Teddy Atlas making statements like, yeah, he's back on the juice, right? Or he's cleared to do the juice once again. You know, I remember at times when, you know, Manny's off the juice. You know, I think he was off the juice. I think he doesn't look the way he used to be. And a lot of other people, of course, we know who they are. So it's no big secret that Manny Pacquiao has had a legacy, or have had this story, this scenario floating around his legacy, that he was juicing over the years. Now it resurfaces again after a do or die performance against Keith Thurman. It was a good fight. Both guys showed their efforts, showed their skill, their heart, their determination, and Manny ended up victorious. Now, the question is, was Manny Pacquiao juicing the night of Keith Thurman? Let's throw out all the other fights, because what we're talking about is now, okay, or recently. And so, like Teddy Atlas said, he's back on the juice. VADA did not allow these guys to get tested for some strange, stupid reason. I know the WBC's rules are different, you know, because they have a good relationship with VADA. And actually, you know, they require you to take these tests. Now, I did a video before about the VADA test and why I didn't like the idea of that. See, here's the problem. Even if Manny Pacquiao, even if Keith Thurman, even if neither of these guys juice, and really, you know, a lot of people haven't accused Keith Thurman of anything, right? But he gets thrown in that same trick bag because VADA is not testing for this fight. Since VADA's not testing for this fight, now anyone can assume anything, just like Teddy Atlas, just like everyone else, and guess what? They did it. That's why, like I said in that video, that's why I didn't like that idea, because that just makes you vulnerable to any type of attack like that. And it cripples the win, you know? It makes it less, it makes that fight less of what it is, less credible, when you throw PEDs in there. What do I think? Me counterpunching this, guys. No, I don't think Manny Pacquiao was juicing that day. I don't think Manny Pacquiao was juicing that day, but guess what? If he was juicing, he could have. But just because he could have didn't mean he did, okay? And then I'm going to tell you why I feel that. Manny Pacquiao started off strong. You know, Manny Pacquiao is a pretty fast starter anyway. He's 0 to 100 in every fight anyway. He dropped Keith Thurman. Does Keith Thurman, is he known to be this tough dude? No, not really. You know, he went straight back, and he didn't anticipate Manny. He should have put his fucking hands up, basically, right? And he went straight back, and Manny caught him with a right hook. And that right hook stunned him. But remember, this is early in the fight. So, yeah, the power is going to be fresh. So, no, it doesn't surprise me. He didn't have to be on PEDs to perform that type of knockdown. And I feel, first of all, that people, they take banned substances and PEDs, they give it too much power, okay? There's one thing we've known about fighters they take something for an edge. Either it's PEDs or banned substances of some sort. They take it to get a edge. Okay, they want something extra. Why? Because there's a lot of money depending on how they perform that day, and whatever can help them, whatever that can add to that, will be essential. So therefore, they take it. Then there's no consequences damn near for it, because no one's really making anyone suffer, right? Through any of this shit. Nothing, really. 6 months, slap on the wrist. Let's go back into the ring. You know, they get that slander, you know, they get that mark of being a cheat. Okay, whatever. They will still fight on. But what really is performance enhancing drugs? What does it really mean? Because doesn't mean because you take it, doesn't guarantee you're going to win a victory. Ask Fernando Vargas about that, right? That does not mean you're going to win automatically. Okay, so a lot of people give it too much credit. Yes, they're dangerous. They're dangerous for the person that's taking them, and they're dangerous for the other fighter because they're under the influence of something at the time. But it's not as though they're intoxicated, so to say, but it is something going through their bloodstream that shouldn't be there. But whatever's going through their bloodstreams doesn't mean that you turn into Superman. It means that you're doing it, or that person's doing it, to get an edge. Okay? Nothing more, nothing less. Now, back to Manny. Manny Pacquiao, I think, looks good for 40 years old. You know? I seen in the middle rounds he started to slow down. Like a couple of those rounds, he really didn't do much. And Keith started to come on. That's why he kind of closed that gap, okay? Because he's seen Manny tired. Like Keith will tell you in his press conference, he's seen Manny slow down a bit. Now, mind you, if Manny Pacquiao was juicing to that ability, I don't think he would have did something natural a 40-year-old man would do. Get fucking tired, right? I seen a guy that got tired. Now, you could argue, oh, well, he's probably on the juice and he's been on the juice a long time. Well, no, he got the green light to do whatever he wanted to do. And I don't think he did anything, me personally, because he acted and reacted, rather, like a 40-year-old fighter would, but a very good 40-year-old fighter. But his C game was a lot better, or was better, or slightly better, let's say that, than Keith Thurman's A game. Okay? If Keith Thurman was at A, but, you know, I'll talk about that in another video. That's Keith's shit. But Manny started slowing down. Manny started to fight back, knowing that he was tired, because I seen that he was tired. He started eating a lot of punches that he shouldn't have ate because he was tired, because he couldn't react to every punch that Keith Thurman threw. You see what I'm saying? He couldn't do that like he used to. And I seen that night. And that didn't look like a juiced up fighter to me. Now, if he did that shit round by round by round, okay, you know, yeah, he did look like Energizer Bunny. But he started off looking like Energizer Bunny until like the 5th round, then the 6th, the 7th, the 8th. He started slowing down. Now, he came back in the later rounds with the 9th round body shot that hurt Keith Thurman and turned it again. But Keith was hitting him with punches, you know, and he was punching a 40-year-old congressman. That's what it looked like. It looked like a guy that fucking trained hard, but is 40 years old, that despite the knockdown that he gave Keith Thurman, he started slowing down in the middle rounds. I'm not going to look more into that. I think if he was going to be juicing, he would be juicing and taking something that he wouldn't get tired. You know what I mean? I don't think it would be, what's the case of taking something and you're going to get tired? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, you know, okay, because here's the deal. If Manny Pacquiao was juicing that night, that means he was taking something that he normally took. So if he was taking something that he normally took, if he was juicing in the past, he would know exactly what to take. He would probably end up taking more due to the fact that he's older, right? So if that's the case, guys, if he took something that night, that means he took something those other times, right? So whatever he took in the past would duplicate the same type of performances that he did in the past. This was a different performance. That's why I don't think it was a performance enhancing drug that he took. You know, because again, if he took drugs back in the day, that means he's experienced, right? He knows exactly what to do, or whoever the fuck is over him knows exactly what to give him during training, knowing we got the green light, we can take whatever we want. So they knew, hey, let's give him something to last 12 rounds. I believe they could do that, right? That's why I don't believe they did that. I think they just fought. I think, here's my thing. If Manny Pacquiao was juicing in the past, I think he quit in 2012 or late 11. I think he quit at that point. You know what I mean? Because he would just look like a different fighter, but you would look like a different fighter when you got knocked the hell out like he did too. So there's a lot of factors. Again, people need to stop giving performance-enhancing drugs that much of credit. People naturally kill other people in the ring without being juiced. Okay, that hasn't even been linked to anything. Look at the two boxers that died. Both of those other fighters, they weren't on anything. That naturally happens, you know, but I know what people do. They're using that as an excuse, you know, to throw people, you know, under the bus more like, oh, well, first of all, let's stop giving PEDs that much credit. Because just because you're on it don't mean you're going to do well. You know what I mean? You'll probably do a little better than you were. But that doesn't guarantee anything. Okay? Nothing's guaranteed. You know, you might go in there and get killed in the ring. Right? So, performance-enhancing drugs are not one of those things. Now, it would be a sad case when someone was juiced up and went in there and killed somebody. But at that time, and that time only, that's when you should apply that. Don't make up shit that hasn't happened. That's what I'm saying. And back to Manny Pacquiao. He just looked like a fighter that's 40 years old, that trained hard, that got tired. And came back when he got his second win. And his second win was enough to win the fight in the eyes of the judges. And that is that, guys. That's my counterpunch on that. I don't see anything else around it. I think Teddy Atlas thought he was juicing because of how he was coming up in the weight classes, but you got to keep in mind, the Manny Pacquiao that was fighting at strawweight and flyweight and shit like that, he was not the type of guy that ate properly. He was a guy from a third world country, which is the Philippines, okay, and he didn't eat like he's supposed to. When he got shrimps, when he got steaks, when he got other things in his body, muscles start to develop, people. You know what I mean? Yeah, I do admit, like 2009, the motherfucker had muscles up here. He did have those. You know what I mean? That does make you scratch your head a little bit. However, Teddy Atlas thinks that he's on the juice and thinks just because VADA didn't test him that he had the green light and he took that opportunity. And I don't believe he did based on his performance. Okay? So anyway, you guys tell me if you think Manny Pacquiao was juicing that night. Leave your comments below. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.